like this beat. To say the least. When you do something to my motherfucking spirit, it's like, turn on. You know what I'm saying? Like, do the thing you do. It's like Superman coming out the fucking booth. Loosen up the tie. Step out the booth, I'm alive. Hey, we're gonna hit you with a whole line. I still been listening to that God Did. Those of you listening to the last podcast know I've been pumping that shit. God did. God did. Yo. Welcome back. First time listeners, return listeners, my people, new people, old friends, all of them. Welcome. This is the Trill Talk podcast, and I'm your boy Dre Brown. Holla at your boy. Well, we start some hard conversations. You know what I'm saying? We do that look in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? And this week was interesting, right? Because moment of this, like, disclaimer in the moment, right? Disclaimer moment, right? I believe wholeheartedly I am a disciple of what Kevin Samuels was preaching. Oh shit. Don't jump on me yet. What his real message was. Not how people ingested him and, he talked, woman gotta bow down, after a certain. No. The building, the acknowledgement of the fracture in the predominant black household, and what steps and perspectives needed to fix these things, right? And sometimes that medicine is ugly, and sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes a lot of times medicine sucks. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? If you had some good medicine, I guess you like how it made you feel after. But like that ingestion, it'd be a rough one. You know what I mean? It'd be a rough one. Doing my dailies, not daily. I don't want to sound like, but I'm human like y'all human. Fuck it. Let's talk about it. Doing my daily scrolls. You know them times in the day we catch ourselves on our phones, just watching shit, knowing there's other things that we could be doing, more productive with our time, but we just scroll in whatever. And this is Trill Talk, so let me be trill with y'all. The algorithms got me. It started showing you like things that's kind of aligned with each other. And I don't know if it be listening to know that I do a podcast or know that I be talking from perspectives or whatever. But it got on the lines of like, it started showing me a lot of like different males' plights on quarrels with, the female population. And me being a spectator, it came off as, for lack of a better term, a lot of bitch assness. Like it just sounded really sensitive. You know what I mean? It sounded really sensitive. And like, well, girls don't want good guys. They just go after the guys that break their heart. They have us try to raise their kid. And I get it. And that is a real reality, right? But to take that tone, to hop on that soapbox and proclaim it that way seems a little, it reeks of bitch assness. That's my best term for it, lack of a better term. If you got a better title for it, then, shoot. But it sounded real sensitive, real zeta male-ish, right? But to ignore that reality, because what they're speaking on is, it has validity, but the position they're taking on it and the way that they're bringing it up, the way that they're talking on it isn't the most flattering for the human race, the male side, right? It becomes, you making us look soft, my boy, my boy. You making us look. I mean, we care about those things, but you know, like the loudest ones are the ones that get hurt, and you just be like the ones that don't need to be fucking talking. Is to be the loudest ones, to be the ones with not shit really valid to say. It ain't really the it, it ain't really the wise ones and the ones that has their perspective or their mind in the right place that gets hurt usually. But people like myself, the late great Godfather Kevin Samuels, amongst a lot of others, you will start making these true and bold proclamations, and it starts to ruffle feathers because it's unheard of. Because usually, men say what they gotta say, do what they gotta do, and in true honesty is more submissive than willing to be submissive and compromising than women are. To the point where the woman really don't gotta compromise much for a man to, but he'll shit, bend over backwards, cut off everything, accept everything, except that 75 pounds you don't gain. Talking about baby weight, but the baby's 7 years old now. What are we doing? Talking about this from the C-section, but you've been growing outwardly, but you can't like decrease. I've got to accept that. I mean, so I had to ask myself why. Like, I try to analyze things to solve it, right? So we identify the problem. Why is it a problem? And how we solve the problem. To solve the problem, we got to know the origins and how it came about, to know how to remedy whatever actions that led up to this or that inspired this or that installed this kind of thinking. And especially in my culture, right? It leads up to childhood. A lot of our adult issues stem from how we was reared up, in my opinion. And even psychology, and even our textbooks say that when you go to therapy, at least when I went, the first thing they get into, how was you raised? Tell me how your childhood was. Tell me your relationship with your parents, how that was. Those things, right? Because that's what inspired, that's what is like the foundational shit to all of our other whatevers are built upon, right? But we have to look at how our childhood are constructed and what inspires them and what conditioning were we susceptible to during those ages, right? Last podcast we talked about like how the Disney in the happily ever after kind of perverted our expectations, our expectations of what love and relationship should be. And in reality, it kept proving that wrong. And like we said, when reality and expectations don't meet, that's where disappointment is birthed. That's where it comes from. That's where sorrow and all that stuff comes from. Frustration comes from. Because we was misled. We was taught that it is one way when in reality it's not. And again, my culture the single mother household was a commonality for me growing up. Everybody I knew didn't have a daddy. The ones that did, shit, that was crazy. They wasn't around me. I didn't run into them until like middle school, high school. Sadly, it was my white friends that had dads. It was all the people that looked like me. Situation was like mine. So we think, we give our mothers the credit because granted, that's a hard pill to swallow. Fathers are gone for various reasons. Criminal justice, just Rolling Stone syndrome, whatever the case may be, right? Whatever the fucking case may be. It was just moms. And me, I have two brothers. My mom raised all three of us in the image of what she felt like a man should be. Granted, there was some lack, which is understandable because, there's only certain things that a man can teach a man, that a man understands from another man from being a man. But she did her best from her best, right? And so I have to look at that through and then look at the world situation. So that's me. I didn't learn what a man or have a positive male role model till at least junior high, late junior high, almost high school, like football coaches. And however good they was, they really didn't invest a lot of me. Those that know me from growing up, I wasn't the most in athletics. I was athletic. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me fucked up. Hold on. Hey, you. Don't get me fucked up. I was athletic. I just didn't like organized sports. You know what I mean? I didn't really care for organized sports like that because really it was fucking hot. All right, football practice was fucking hot. I had got dehydrated one time. They asked me when my birthday was. I didn't know when my birthday was. Don't judge me. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, right? But I didn't have a positive male role model till about that age, right? And then really until when I joined the Marine Corps when I was 18 after high school is when I got a strong sense of strong male mentorship in a positive way. Now, before then, I've had OD boys, OGs show me shit that really kind of crashed me later on. But they did what they did. And they gave me their best, what was working for them. And I love y'all. Salute to all y'all. Boom. But in hindsight, I didn't have a positive male role model until I was already a teenager, young man. That's the same for most, right? Most of us grow up around individuals, like I said, that have the same situation we're in. So they can relate, but they can't tell us better or different because they're in the same that we're in. So how am I supposed to know, right? How am I supposed to actually get that knowledge until I hit the world? So growing up, all I have is what mama gave me. And let's say your mom wasn't bitter at your father. You say you can get that, right? But what you probably also didn't get is seeing a woman properly treat a man. Make his lunch for him. Do his clothes. Rub his feet after a hard day. Understand when he's outside himself and how to bring him back to himself. All these kind of things. You don't witness that as a young man. You miss those. But you get taught how to treat a woman. And what your mom lacked from her own life, she made as a centric point to teach you how to provide, how to care, how to understand, accept, be all these things that we was kind of described as a submissive attribute. But this is what we're taught. And then that's what's going to get you a woman, son. That's what'll get you a good woman. A woman looking for a man that treats her like a queen and holds her up on this pedestal like this, right? But the little girl, she never gets or hardly gets a positive example of a good man. She hears about this fabled good man, hears legends told of what he should be like, but also is coded with the caveat of don't expect shit from no man, because I ain't never got that shit from no man. So, baby girl, don't expect that from no man. You take care of you, you do you, you make sure you always good. You should make sure you always solid. No matter what, you make sure you good. You don't need no man for shit. This becomes a perspective shaping that grows into a toxic kind of palette. Not kind of, a toxic palette. Because either one or two things happens from the bad examples that she has, right? Or negative examples that she has. She either, one, because she has nothing to compare it to, no form of contrast, she fantasizes or sensationalizes that behavior. No, makes it the norm in her mind. My mom got beat on, my grandma got beat on, my cousins got beat on, my sister got beat on. So every man I dealt with beat on me. They don't understand that this is toxic behavior and that they should not accept this. In their mind, this is reality. This is the norm. This is just what happens. When they should stand up for themselves. And it's not always that easy, right? But you should draw your boundary somewhere. You don't gotta keep your ball in the court that you don't want to keep your ball in. Regardless of how you feel, you don't. You don't. You don't. You can move on. You can find something that's more conducive for whatever you want or for whoever you are. But when you fall into these two outcomes, right? And you have nothing actually good. What your subconscious deems as acceptable or satisfactory is actually toxic to you. You don't know how to actually recognize something that's actually nourishing for you. So when you run into that good man, you be with that good man, you actually have that date or he's hitting that inbox up and he may not be your normal, he ain't got no tattoos. He ain't really got no fly clothes. Kind of quirky, a little shy. But the man has all the intangibles that you're looking for. Just not in the package that you used to. You turn that guy away. Because you don't know how to recognize that value. Because you've never seen that value. And it's no fault to yourself. It's just the reality of the issue. You don't know. You haven't been around what that actually is. So then it creates an effect on the male that they have two sides to flip on. They see that being a good guy doesn't get me the girl because the culture and the atmosphere that we in now, they're not checking for that. They want the scammers. They want the dough boys. They want the rappers. They want this fast-paced lifestyle, these bad boys tatted up. They're not checking for the accountants, the coding engineers, the supervisor of operations at BFI. Do not worry about that guy, because he's born in a female's perspective. Immature mind deems boring and peaceful the same thing. They need tumultuous to show that you care. If you care, you'll fight for me. What? Why you in? What? Because I'm a fucking adult with shit to lose, and I can express my feelings and convey my feelings in the fact that so a man either becomes he plays the game to win, then he becomes the shit y'all after, which is actually toxic for you, which perpetuates the shit himself, because he has a need that he wants to win. He want to eat. He want whatever that thing is. He want the girl. So he'll shapeshift, chameleon himself into whatever the girl needs, whatever the girl desires at the time, to get mission accomplishment. Or he just backs out of the game and he becomes bitter and jaded, and he is making posts about how girls don't really like good boys, and he should start fucking with the hoes because maybe the hoes like the good guys. And he's entertainment and fodder to all of us. We can't go back and change how we was raised. But what we can do is realize the lack, the overlap, and the errors of our childhood, and start making remedies for that going forward, and that we don't pass on them same, what they call generational curses. Things that we was taught that we shouldn't have been taught that we passed on. Now the next generation has to deal with. So it should be something that stay in focus, right? How we raise our children, how we teach our children how to view life, each other, of the same race, of other races, what have you, how to deal with your partner. Listen, man, the biggest issue is, like I said, that brother that gets jaded, right? You don't allow the world to change you, my boy. Nipsey say it like this, man. You never let a hard time humble us. You never let disappointment or failure change who you are. In any squeeze or any kind of pressure applied, an orange is going to give you orange juice, not apple. If the force is too strong, or if you came at it a different way, sometimes it might give you, it's always orange, my boy. It's always orange. Because what's in you, who you are, that's what comes out of you. So you got to look at who you are first if you want to change what your effect on this world is. Again, we can't do nothing about how we was raised, but what we can do is how we raise the next generation, how we inspire, and the information and the attitudes and the actions that we perpetuate to the next generation. That's what we fucking can do. And that in turn makes ourselves better and our future better for the next ones. I mean, that's what it is. It's a cold reality to give, but it's medicine that needs to be taken so that we can take steps in fixing it. Because this is personal shit too. This ain't just no soapbox. I know things about me. There's things about myself that I gotta fix from how I was raised my interpretation of my raising, and how I'm a father too. I'm bringing up a beautiful little girl and a strong young man myself. And I gotta be cautious that I don't produce toxic people into this next generation, into the next population. Take it how you live, man. Like, if you made it to this point, you might be a little salty. You might be like, hell yeah, my boy. Or, however you feel, let me know about it. Right after you like, subscribe, then write that comment, and then share it to some people you know about. And it's be like, hey, you seen what this little, I ain't really little, but you see what this young Sahab, you know what I'm talking about, was giving it up. We can talk about it. Y'all want to hear some videos about something? Slide in the comments. Let me know. Make some requests for some videos and we can talk on it. If you want to hear a real one's perspective on these things, holla at me. Holla at me! You know what I mean? And we can get into it. However you want to get into it. It's just really whatever. You know what I mean? It's just, I'm here for y'all. Cause y'all do a lot for me. You know what I mean? So I'm here for y'all. You know? But then again, like always, that's some Trill talk for your ass. So until next time, stay on that grind. Remember, she's just young, she not fine. Nah, I'll fuck her out. But I love y'all. Till next time, this is Trill Talk Podcast with your boy Dre Brown.